Good afternoon. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. You can find us on the radio, icradio.media. You can find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television, syndicated. You can find that on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast, thenewscasters.com. And a lot of wonderful talk show hosts are associated with that podcast. Murray Edwards, thank you so much for letting me be part of it. I definitely appreciate it. I want to say a very special thank you to the Gadsden Mall and also to the Chamber of Commerce in Etowah County. So, did you know that you're the world's best mayor also in Gadsden?
No.
Yeah, because they air the show every day at the Chamber of Commerce, and they have this huge screen TV. And so we appreciate you guys letting us do that as well. But thank you so much. I have Mayor Chuck Abels with me right now with the town of Geraldine, Alabama. And so, nice place to live.
Great place to live. Sure is. Absolutely.
If you want to be out in the country and just kind of have your space, have some land. And a lot of people want to live off land right now.
Yeah.
This would be a great place because you're close enough to Albertville, if you have a job out there in Gadsden, and then also the bigger towns, like if you wanted just to take a night out on the town, you can do that. And be in Huntsville or Chattanooga,
Yeah.
Birmingham,
Yeah.
Atlanta, if you want to fight that traffic in Atlanta, then you can do that as well. So what's going on in Geraldine?
Well, before I get to that, one of my daughters came through Atlanta Saturday, not a work day. She said it took me an hour and a half to go 5 miles.
I don't have the patience for that anymore.
But we do have a lot going on in Geraldine. I mean, it's an exciting time of the year. I mean, the trees are blooming, and the baseballs and softballs are being thrown and hit and getting ready to start those seasons. Our high school basketball team made it to the Final Four. Got within one game of playing for a state championship, just like our football team did. They got within one game of playing for the state championship. So great sports year, and baseball's doing great. High school baseball team just kind of getting started, but just things are good. And,
we're serious about sports right now.
Well, we are, absolutely. And the school supports the town, we support the school, and had big crowds in Birmingham for the basketball game, and enjoyed being down there with that. Got some projects we're working on, and some short-term projects, which are like 2 or 3 years. That's a short-term project.
Really, it is. I've dealt with things like that
Yeah.
before, so you got to have a little patience.
Yeah, but our one of the real big things for me is a few years ago, our local bank, Liberty Bank, built a new building, and they donated their old building to the town. Said, do what you want to with it. Just not a financial institution, and you can have it. And but and that's the kind of people we have here. I mean, they could have offered to sell it to us or sell it to somebody else, but they said, we think y'all can do something good with it.
Back.
Yeah, and so we applied for a federal grant. Our great Congressman Robert Adderholt, and he was able to get us some money, $375,000, and so we're in the process of getting that renovated for our Geraldine Medical Clinic. They're in a real small place, and they do such a great job, and it's not a business that's not going to thrive. I mean, people are going to keep getting sick, and but man, they do a great job, and so we're working on that. We're actually opening bids March 15th to about the renovation. We sent bid packets out to about 9 or 10 people, and we've had some come and look at it, to get a better idea. So we're excited to get started on that, and once we get that done, the bids open and settled and sign a contract, we put in there, we'd like for you to start to work April 1st, and it'll take probably 4 months or something like that to get it fixed up like we need to. And so again, it's something that's been in the works
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 years, but you kind of see it happening now. And but our medical clinic here, just great people, local people that want to serve the community. Jeff and Michelle Stewart, and I mean, Jeff has done a lot of drawings and things. You know, here's what we need it to look like. And
Well, he's in the business. He knows exactly what it's going to happen.
yeah, he came and met with one of the guys that is bidding on the project, and the contractor said, you probably need to do it a little different. And so he's revised it, and you know, it was real good for them to get to talk and work things out ahead of the bid. And and by the way, Mr. Adderholt, our U.S. representative, was in town Saturday. He came. The fire department was having a pancake breakfast fundraiser, and he came, and then he spent a couple of hours. He and his wife, Miss Caroline, just going around town. He wanted to see the bank building. Had not seen what it looked like, and on the inside, and so we spent some time there, and some other places in town. At you know, just looking at things, and he's been real good. You know, he gets an opportunity to fund 15 projects a year for his district that goes all the way to Mississippi. It's about 13 counties, I think, it covers, and you know, but he's the one that made it possible for us to have sewer here a few years ago. Give us a grant through USDA for that, and he's just been real good. And with election day this week, you know,
You don't want to get me started on people that vote, do you?
nah, I mean, I might have to stand up and start banging the table.
We both will, and Phil will join in on it.
That don't vote. I mean, when it's less than 30% of the people that
Oh my
don't
goodness!
that vote, I don't understand it.
It's not like you have to go that far. I mean, you could walk over to the
Yeah.
church over there and vote. You live right here in town.
Yeah. I've never missed an election vote since I was
never.
18. And
I grew up in a household. I thought that was one of the requirements. I thought, okay, you get old enough, you take your driver's test, learn how to drive, you get your driver's license, and you vote.
Yeah.
So I just assumed everyone voted.
and at the time, I registered with the not Secret Service, Selective Service. Had a military draft at the time, and you do that, and you just
I just
do
there's
all those
certain
things.
things you just think you got to do.
And it's a lot
I
of the
love
people
being
that,
an American.
me too. But a lot of the people that don't vote are the ones
Right.
that fuss the most, the loudest. But anyway.
Well, if you've ever been to another country, you will, if you haven't been voting, you will learn to vote. Because I'm just going to tell you, we went to South Uganda, Africa. It was a missionary trip. The guys let me come because I make good biscuits. So I got to go hang out with them and everything. And so it was a Christian radio station that we're building. This church we're going to, Trinity Baptist Church in Oxford. And the people there thought we were rich. They think everybody in America is rich.
Yeah.
And so they sacrificed, and this was a sacrifice for them, okay? So there was a gate where you walked into their village, or drove into their village, and they had these big banana trees with bananas on them right there at the gates. And they thought we were dignitaries. And I'm looking, they said, and they spoke English and Swahili, by the way. But they spoke it's a beautiful dialect of English they spoke. So anyway, they thought we were dignitaries, and I looked around to see if dignitaries actually behind us. And it was us they thought we were. So the missionaries there said, you know what? This was a sacrifice for them to get those banana trees and put them right there at the gate entrance. And that made me feel really bad.
It's like a red carpet. I mean,
really.
Our church is involved in some mission opportunities, primarily in Haiti. Yeah. And, we've built 2 school buildings in Haiti, and getting ready to do another one this summer. But, and then we had about 8 people that just got back from there on a medical mission, just going to the schools and so the kids can get a little bit of medical examination, and it's usually once a year when they go.
And running water's a big deal too. If you can just get some running water.
and we had one. No, a couple of years ago, we had one. I had a trip scheduled to Haiti, and right at the almost last minute, they decided not to go because somebody had just broken into the president's house and shot and killed him. You know, and that's, I mean,
See, we were going to go to North Uganda, and they started tribal fighting there, so we had to change it at the last minute and go to South Uganda.
Yeah.
There was less conflict.
yeah. Well, our group goes pretty far away from the capital, from Port-au-Prince, and but I mean, there's you know unrest there a lot, but
And they would love to have the privileges that we have.
yeah,
They would love to vote. They would
Yeah.
love to have that opportunity.
yeah. But anyway, that's
But we got the opportunity.
We do.
We just need to get out there and do that.
absolutely, and
Why don't we just see if Geraldine can do it better than everybody
Well,
else?
big,
Why, the town of Geraldine could be number one, okay? They could be the one where 100% of the people vote. And then we could just show off, tell the rest of the counties and the rest of the towns what we did, right?
we'll work on that. But it's a great place, like I say, it's not perfect, but no place on earth is, and but if I obviously get to choose where I live, and this is where I choose. I didn't choose it to begin with, but I'm just fortunate to be born and grow up here. Spent 20 years in Birmingham.
Fighting
Part of that in
traffic.
college.
You
not
spent
all
a
of it.
big part of it on the road fighting traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
Of that 20 years.
And I went, when I went to the tournament in Birmingham last week, I thought, how long can this light stay red?
I know.
And then they go a block, and here's another one.
Uh-huh.
How long can this light stay red?
Phil calls them Georgia red lights. Atlanta. He lived in Atlanta
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
And he said it's like everyone would catch you, and then they wonder why the traffic is so bogged down.
Yeah.
It's because everybody's having to stop.
Yeah. But
we got one red light here.
We do, yeah. And it's a great place, and we've got a lot of other things going on. The same day we're opening bids on the bank project, we're also opening bids to pave some roads in town. We do that every year to keep the roads in good shape and
I'm glad to
not
see
wait
that
till they get
bridge is
bad.
being worked on.
Yeah,
I am so glad of that because I'm going to tell you, every time I was on a business call or talking to Brad, who lives in Raleigh, I would go down that bridge and
Yeah.
lose my cell phone service.
I mean, it's
every
like going
time.
down they just built it just above the water practically, and of course the new bridge on Highway 75 is going to be
Smell a lot less maintenance.
almost flat,
Mhm.
and the old bridge is nearly 80 years old, so this time it'll be wider and safer and that kind of thing.
You know what I
But,
do when I was talking to a client? I would just pull over to the side
Yeah.
of the road because I knew I was going to lose them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
But
but that's an awesome thing they're doing.
yeah, of course the state's doing that, it's a state highway, but we got a lot of projects like that going on. We've done a lot of upgrades in our park. We built new restrooms and put some new fencing up and getting ready to build another ball field pretty soon. Still waiting on some specs from the people that are writing up all the specs for us, the engineers, and but we'll get that done this year too. And so just a lot of things going on, and
Well, there's a process, and I want to do because I'm going through the same thing in my business. So right now with some government contracts, and even if it's government business, they want to buy an ad. Those even take a while, and so it's just that, and it's not the town. It's nothing like that because we're ready to do it.
Yeah.
And when I'm ready to do something, I want it done yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. But you just have to, as a citizen of this town or any town, you have to have a little bit of patience and understand there's a paper flow that you got to do that on, and you got to be so timely. It's like you have to rush and hurry up and get it for it to kind of seem stalled.
Yeah.
But Mr. Adderholt has really been a huge help.
absolutely.
Mr. Lingerfeld too.
Yeah, Mr. Lingfeld, council member, that's written a lot of grants for us,
Mhm.
and federal grants especially. There's a lot of accountability, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do
we,
too.
if I want everybody to be accountable, and then we'll have more to work with.
Mhm.
People are accountable. But there is a lot of things with federal grants, step by step things that you have to do, and then, you know, report, fill out reports, and that's, we're working through all that. Same thing with the sidewalk building from the school to Highway 75, about 7/10 of a mile, 3/4 of a mile.
It's going to be real nice.
Yeah, and it's our Alabama Department of Transportation is where we got that grant, and they'll send an email and say, fill this out, and then get the engineer to sign it and fill it out, and then do this and then do that, and then it goes to Montgomery to get approved and then back and that kind of thing. So we're still in the process, but I mean, once I get the email or paperwork, I do it that day and send it to the next place, and then 3 or 4 weeks, something else will happen. And but the sidewalk is a project. I really started working on that about 7 or 8 years ago, and applied for the grant a couple of times, and unsuccessful one time, and decided it's time to try it again, and got some help with some of the people at AlDOT to maybe use the right buzzwords. I mean, that's part of the thing in the grant.
That's the key. And then another thing is what I'm working on right here. I got to say this for our bank here. I mean, Liberty Bank is awesome. So I went on ahead and did a few things I probably didn't have to do. So I walked through, saw Nancy, who I went to school with, and so I got this paperwork certified. And I probably didn't even have to do that. And as a matter of fact, when I got there, they said, "Oh, you didn't have to get this certified." And I said, "Just in case you want to come back on me and say certified." But I just like the professionalism there. And so I walked in. Of course, we talked about, girl talk stuff. And then I said, "I'm on my way. About to do some tapings." I said, "I've got to get something certified." Boy, she just went right over there. So I went right over there and next across from her, and got this little document certified, which is absolutely awesome to do. And so they're there to help you. But another thing that I'm digging into is their CDs.
Yeah.
They're paying better than anybody.
Yeah.
Is anybody paying better than they are?
I don't think so. I'm on the DeKalb Tourism Board, and we had some extra money. Tourism's been good and been great in DeKalb County the last few years, and so we had some money and talked about putting CDs, and so there's people from Fort Payne on the board and all around, and one of them said, I got a buddy over here at a big name bank. I'll just leave it at that. And so I called Chris Bailey, the president of Liberty Bank, and told him, I said, we're having a meeting here in a couple of days, and just want to see, this amount of money, and what you can do, and I mean, he didn't say, I'll check and get back with you. He said, here's a number.
That's how he is.
Yeah.
That's how it makes you think of the movie It's a Wonderful Life, the Baileys. Well, Mr. Bailey is right here at Liberty Bank. And he's so on top of everything. And he doesn't waste any time. If you have a question about anything, I mean, you just, they're all that way.
And I didn't say, here's what rate somebody else is getting, can you beat that? I just said, I need a rate. He gave me a rate. I took it to the meeting, and they had a couple of others from some of the bigger banks, and I mean, we had the best rate.
Well, then we go with Liberty Bank.
Yeah.
I mean, that says it all right there.
And they're great folks. And Mr. Adderholt was asking me Saturday about the bank, and he said, so started here 50 years ago, and I said, yeah, a little more. 1971 is when it actually opened, and he said, well, what company started it? And I said, it's just a group of local people here, 5 or 6 people that decided we needed a bank here, and started the bank then. And I said, now they've got 6 or 7 locations, branch banks around in other municipalities, and and just, you know,
Well, it's
growing,
handy
doing
for
well.
us to do banking
Yeah.
because sometimes I'm in Gadsden, and doing some stuff there, and I may not have time to get back to the bank here. But the one in Albertville is real handy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so handy to get to.
Yeah.
You just, you're on 75. You just go across Highway 431. It's just a little piece down on the left-hand side. Real easy to get to, in and out.
Of course, you know, they do loans for cars. They do housing, you know,
Mhm.
mortgage loans there. Of course, I do most of my stuff online, and
Mhm.
you know, you can
Oh, I
move
love that part
move
of
money
it.
from savings to
I've been
checking
asked about that from
online.
some of our listeners. Well, they probably don't have online banking. I said, "Are you kidding? It's very sophisticated."
Yeah, and of course,
And
got ATM outside the
uh-huh.
bank. But I mean, it's
We got everything the big banks
yeah,
have. It's just friendlier and easier to
yeah,
get to. And I got to tell you, that I won't mention the bank's name, but we were living in Charlotte, North Carolina. At Christmas time, someone stole my identity.
mm,
And that was hard to do because I had the show and also had a business going there as well. And so I would always have to start calling the main number. No one
yeah,
would give me the telephone number of the identity theft part of it. So it was like you could always count on being on hold an hour, and they treated me like I was the one who did something wrong. And I was like, hold it, every single. And I never got to talk to the same person twice. By
yeah,
the way, you'd have to explain everything all over again. You won't have that here at Liberty Bank. They're going to remember.
yeah. And Chris Bailey, you know, giving me his cell phone number, said, you know, if it's, you know, bank's closed,
What
I'm not here
banker's
or
going to
something, you
do
know,
that?
just call my
Go
cell
to
phone.
one of the big ones and see
Yeah.
if they'll give you the manager, the big guy. See if he'll give you the cell phone number.
Yeah. But you
That
know,
ain't gonna happen. And most mayors won't give you the cell phone number either.
well, I think everybody in town's
I
got
bet
mine.
you regret the day you gave me your
No, I mean,
I don't pester you a
no,
whole lot.
you don't at all.
Not
I mean,
much.
I
I just want to know, like, if you got the chickens for sale or
milk.
milk.
Yeah.
I was wanting some milk.
Uh,
There's nothing better than milk off of a fresh.
Yeah, I know.
Fresh milk off of it. There's nothing better. Make butter out of it.
Yeah. But you know, give you a couple of contacts. I mean, in case you know you think, well, that sounds like a pretty good place to be to live or have a business. And we've got sewer. We've got great utility rates because our utilities are co-ops. We've got gigabit speed internet.
And that's number one right there. When you're in business for yourself, I can deal with not having electricity on that. But our electricity is good. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
But having internet where I can actually produce a show from here,
Yeah.
people in Gadsden have been amazed at that. They're
Yeah.
saying, "You're on a farm. How you doing that?"
Yeah.
And I'll say, "Our good internet."
And you know, other than just one little spot in Opelika, we were the first place in the state of
Mhm.
Alabama to have that. It's been it's been 9 years ago since we got that through Farmers Telecommunications, and I got to brag on them a little bit. I mean, it's easy to do. Always something coming up, but I went to a ribbon cutting last week where farmers have set up a telehealth room at the VFW Veterans
Mhm.
Foreign War for veterans to come. It's called a virtual living room, and Aikens Furniture donated furniture for them to go in
Mhm.
there, and they can come there and have the veterans can have doctor visits right there because
Yes.
of the internet and all the stuff.
Because
that
we
farmers-
appreciate our veterans.
Yeah, and but you know that's the kind of people we got here. But anyway, our town hall contact number 256-659-2122, and if you call that, it's going to give you some options. You know, if you want to need to see about the sewer or garbage or you know whatever. I mean, but you know, 8's the mayor, so if you want to talk to me, it's 8 or our website, just www.townofgeraldineal.com. My email is mayor@townofgeraldineal.com, and my cell phone is 256-996-3388. But you know, love to hear from you. You know, I've told this a lot, but I've had several people in the last couple of years just call and say, hey, we decided we want to live at Geraldine. Now, you know, we live in Mississippi, or we live in Florida, or we live in uh, South Georgia, you know, and but we need, you know, to see about some land or a house or something like this, and you know, they just pick up and move here, you know. I thought they might be on the witness protection program, but it's just people that, you know, come through, and I mean, we kind of brag about our town being clean, and you know, we try to do a good job keeping that, but our citizens do a good job about that. Sometimes we'll have out of towners come in and throw something out, but
Hey,
but of course, Jamie, our maintenance guy, does a great job of keeping things up, and you know, I love our police force. I mean, we write fewer tickets than anybody around, but
oh, you know the key to that? You got to fess up and say you did it.
yeah,
Because, you know, it happened to me a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I didn't argue with it. There's no point in arguing. I was going faster than I should have been. They're working on that bridge down there, you
Yeah.
know. So I just didn't pay any attention to the, oh my goodness. He told me what the speed limit was, and I said, I didn't know it was that low. Well, see, I should have been paying attention, so
Yeah.
it's my fault.
there's signs up. You
Yeah,
know?
it's up there. Yeah, you can see it because I promise you, I know now. Every time I go through there, you know, I obey. I just wasn't paying attention.
But they're more interested in serving the people, and you know, our chief. I got a text from our chief yesterday, and he said, you know, town of Geraldine hired me 10 years ago today, and he just talked about, you know, what a good experience, how much he likes being here and all that, and so, you know, we try to keep people when we hire them, and that's a good example of, you know, we keep them in good equipment, and, you know, try to take care of them best we can. But
Top notch.
They're
The
out there.
cars are always in good shape, too.
yeah, I mean, we buy new cars every year, and you know, I know somebody saying, "What?" You know, well, you know, I'll just go with last year.
And we're debt free.
Oh yeah, we've
There's
been
something about being
debt-free.
debt
I mean,
free.
yeah,
Not
we
many of your towns that can say that.
and you know, that comes from getting grants
It's
and
being smart about how you spend it.
yeah. But we bought 4 new Tahoe police cars, and we had 4 that were just 1 year old. Took the lights out of those because you have to pay to, you know, get the lights switched out and all that, all the equipment. And then we sold those 4 cars, and we sold them for $12,000 more than we paid for the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's
it's not an
smart
expense; it's a
business, man.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
You know, and now the police have got good equipment. We don't have maintenance costs, basically none, and we do that every year. Same with our maintenance truck, except boy, I mean, thought about doing that every 6 months because I mean the last one, you know, we buy them on state bid, all that. The last truck was $42,000. Kept it 2 years, sold it for $57,000. One before that, we a 2020 model that it was like 36,000 then. You can tell how much they're going up. And then we got ready to sell it, and it was during the height of COVID and couldn't get trucks and stuff like that. And we paid 36,000 and sold it for 60,000. And I mean, the auction company gets 7%, but you know
But still, though, I mean, you're making a profit. That's really good. We've got to go into a commercial break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back in just a minute. So y'all hang in there, okay? We'll be right back. Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
My Towels solved the problem that we've all had with towels. You go into the stores and they feel lotiony and soft, but then you get them home and they wind dry you. That's why I made My Towels. They actually work, they're soft, and they absorb. And now I'm excited to announce 2 brand new lines of My Towels. What makes them the best towels ever is they're now made with 100% long staple Shapir cotton. This is a combed ring spun cotton that makes My Towels even softer and more absorbent than ever. And now you get a 6-piece set for an amazing introductory sale price as low as $29.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get My Towels for only $29.98. Or you can get my designer premium line for just $20 more. Either way, you save 50% now on all My Towels. They actually work. What a concept. This offer won't last long, so please order now.
MyPillow.com.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday. You can find us on the radio at icuradio.media. We're making some changes to the platform, though. And so I can't wait to tell you about that. You're going to love it, and we listen to you. You're the reason we have this. You know what? Our listeners and watchers are the boss of us. I got a bunch of bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to Abundance Television, just on Roku, we've got over 80,000 people who watch the show.
Wow.
So that's
Great.
80,000 bosses I have to answer to.
Yeah.
80,000. But I love it. And thank you so much for the emails you send. By the way, if you have ideas for the shows, you want me to do some research, I'm getting a lot of stuff about gardening.
I was about to bring that up. It's about time.
And I can't wait, and Phil can't wait too, because he wants me outside. I'm crazy big on the inside. But if you have any suggestions, anything you would like to add, or just comment, please send an email. I appreciate it. Donna at donnasedge.com. Donna at donnasedge.com. Before we go with our mayor, I wanted to mention Bobby Ledbetter with Twin City Used Car Sales. Man, is he making it happen in Gadsden?
He's
What
knocking
in
it out.
the world?
Well,
It's like every time you look on the Facebook page, he's putting in sold another one, sold another one. So a lot of the folks from Fort Payne are going from where he was in Fort Payne. They're going to Gadsden and buying cars.
And I understand why. I mean, he's such a great guy. I mean, he's just. I mean, there's so much that he does to serve the community and give back. Yeah, and I mean, it's just. I mean, there's no telling how many thousands of people he fed, especially during the COVID time. And
no, we don't have a clue really.
No.
And John Merrill was good. He would come, and we were the Walmart greeters,
Yeah.
and we were kind of stalling people. So people would look. I was the first one you saw, so I was the first Walmart, and John Merrill was the second Walmart greeter. And so finally Bobby went.
Yeah.
He's so sweet. I mean, he said just he wasn't grouchy at all like that. And I said, but he liked it because I was kind of calming the kids down. You know?
Yeah.
And so I would say, do you like apple pie? Because it's a great big apple pie, this big, waiting on you when you get around over there. So of course kids are going to want an apple pie, and the adults are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, Bobby's a really neat guy. I mean, he really is. And then we had the Galveston Steakhouse with Mr. Miles. And so many folks, great folks, are making that happen. I saw where Miles bought a vehicle down there in Gadsden. so anyway, and I'm driving one of these vehicles.
Yeah. I mean,
Phil's got a vehicle that he's had from 7 years ago. Now, Phil's the kind of guy that he's going to drive that car until the doors start coming off of it when you open up the door. But it's a well-made car.
Yeah.
So I went on ahead, and so I told Andy. I said, now, Andy, Phil is in the vehicle, and he needs a truck because we're on the farm and all this kind of stuff. So he's looking for a good truck. But he doesn't want, he just wants one cab. He doesn't want the double cab.
Yeah.
I'm a woman saying
Yeah.
you probably don't know what in the world
I know
I'm
what
saying.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, he's married to Catherine.
It doesn't have a back seat.
Yeah.
Some trucks have a back seat.
He doesn't want the back seat. So, and those are harder to find now.
Yeah, I bet.
But you know, Bobby will find it. And one time, I said, Bobby, I want a pink tractor. I was just joking. I was just walking by. I want a pink tractor. I did that on my way out the door. He called me in a few days and said, Miss Donna, I've not found a pink tractor, but I can get it painted for you. And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, you said you wanted a pink tractor. I said, could you say Phil on a pink tractor?
And he'd been working on it. I mean, trying to find you one. I'm
Phil
sure.
said, would you stop that? He said, I don't want a pink tractor. And so I had to rephrase that. But anyway, if you're looking for what are you looking for? If you let him know, he'll search it.
And I'm glad Andy's with him too, because Andy, I mean, they work well together.
And Phil and Andy work well together. They both have this dry sense of humor. And so Phil comes out there with a list. Oh, I don't want this. I want that. So Andy's just sitting there listening to him. And then he goes, you want that one? That's all he did. And Phil said, I don't want that one. It's blue like Auburn. I'm an Alabama fan. And I went, but he did get that car. It was the one he wanted.
Yeah.
And so they'll listen to you there, okay? They'll be really quiet, and they're going to listen. And so that's what I like about them as well.
And then when you tell them what you want, they say, I've got it right here, or I'll get it for you.
Or I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll get your pink tractor.
Yeah.
But anyway, the great folks to work with. Go check them out. They're off of Megan. You can't miss them, man. Like that truck, that car they have out there with the Twin City used cars is all over it.
Yeah.
So we're in Geraldine, Alabama. And so we've been talking about some really awesome things that are happening. But before we dive back in, I wanted to mention Catherine. And this lady, she's a lady. I mean, she really is. And I love her demeanor. She's just a lady.
Well, I appreciate that. And
her background's teaching.
I noticed that.
I don't know how she keeps from going crazy after being a teacher for how many years?
31.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, this last time she'd been retired 9 years, and the English teacher at Geraldine retired at Christmas, resigned, and so she taught the second semester. This was a year ago, and when she retired 9 years ago, I mean, she was ready to retire.
Done.
She was done,
Mm-hmm.
and she told the principal that she said, "Now, when I retire, I want a diploma. So he fixed up a diploma for retired. She taught 25 years at the same school, and anyway, she went back and taught English was what she had taught before, so she got to teach English and got to teach our grandson, and that was real special. But one semester she really enjoyed it, but I mean she's done again, and she's really done this time. But June of this year we're going to celebrate 50 years of marriage.
Congratulations! She's put up with you that
Yeah,
long. She gonna get a medal this time for that one?
Well, now I mean she's kind of got it figured out, because the last time we had a city election, I had decided, I've always served 2 terms, and it's, of course, we don't have term limits. One of my grandsons asked me one time if I had term limits. I said, it's all you can stand, but jokingly,
and you can stand.
Jokingly, because obviously, I keep doing it. But
But you've got
time,
a system that works, and I think it's
well
worth keeping you.
But last election, I decided I've served 2 terms. I'm going to just run for council. Let somebody else do the mayor, and I'll help them, and that kind of thing. So I typed up this letter to send to the newspaper. I'm going to be running for council, and since she taught English for 30 years, I thought, I better let her check, see if I got my commas in the right place and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so I said, look over this, and get your red pen out and fix it. And she read the first line and just ripped it up. She said, no, you need to be the mayor. So she's figured out a way to keep me out of the house most of the time.
Perfect.
So,
yeah, so Phil has retired 3 times.
Yeah.
And he can't help himself.
Yeah, that's like one of my sisters. I said, you failed at retirement 4 times now. She's a teacher, and, she taught 25 years in Alabama and retired for about 5 years, and then taught 10 in Georgia and retired. And now she's back teaching in Alabama again.
Someone said keep working.
Yeah, but she loves it, and she's a great teacher.
But it's something
good
you
for the
call
kids.
for. I mean,
Yeah,
that's all part of it.
Yeah.
Speaking of being called for something, I love being outside, and we're finally getting some good weather. So Phil has been saying, just go outside and bundle up, okay?
Hey, 70 degrees today.
I know.
Yeah.
As soon as we get through recording, I'm outside.
Yeah.
I'm going to be out there. We've got a farmer's market that we're going to.
Yeah, I thought about that a while ago. Of course, it'll be 35 into this week, in the morning. But
We're
anyway,
in Alabama. What can I say?
Yeah, farmers market. Excited about getting that going again. Usually in May when we get that going, because it's local
But
grown
now's
only.
the time to start thinking about it,
Yeah.
right?
Local grown stuff only. So we usually do 2 days a week, Wednesday and Saturday, and like some of the other communities around do it on Tuesday and Thursday, and some on Monday and Friday, and we kind of do it like that.
That
so
way you can
the-
go around to different
Yeah.
ones. That's good.
and then the vendors can go to different ones as well. People that are growing stuff to sell, and we're talking about. We've been talking about this year maybe possibly starting a little earlier, and for the first month or so, be able to sell stuff that you didn't grow. I mean, you go, to Birmingham or somewhere and buy cases of food, tomatoes and bananas and
Tomatoes
whatever.
sell really well.
Yeah. Tomatoes are always the first thing that sell out. I mean, we've got a great place to grow tomatoes. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't know the scientific reason.
It's because we have sandy soil for the most part. That's the big deal. It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, when I lived in Birmingham, people, hey, bring me some of those Sand Mountain tomatoes,
It was even in Chicago.
Yeah.
My stepfather used to work in Chicago for a while, and he said there were people who would come from Sand Mountain now. He's from Sand Mountain. And would come all the way to Chicago. He said, I'm telling you, their trucks would be gone in. It's just like people just be all over the place getting those Sand Mountain tomatoes.
Yeah. And I mean, watermelons grow real well here, and most anything else. I mean, of course, we have farmers doing corn and soybeans, and cotton's coming back some. I mean, when I was a kid, it was mostly cotton, and you know, I love seeing it out there when I don't have to go pick it.
Yeah, when you don't have to pick it, yeah, because those little thorns really
Yeah.
hit your fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never picked cotton before.
Well, I did a good bit. I mean, my parents were school teachers, but I mean, from the time I was about 12, you know, I'd go and pick cotton for somebody, get anywhere between 2 and 3 cents a pound for picking it.
Good like me then, though.
And
But you know something? I wanted to. My grandmother was always afraid of snakes. And so she would say, "Oh, I don't want you to know what snakes are." So she just had this phobia about snakes.
I remember when I was a teenager, going, I had a little bitty transistor radio. I'd take it and put it in my overall pocket and listen to the World Series, because you know, October's when you pick cotton mostly, or did then, and so listen to the World Series and pick cotton.
Yeah, but now you can get a podcast to be on the internet
Yeah.
and listen to any station you want to in
Yeah.
the whole wide world, even
Yeah.
IC radio.
Absolutely, and can't think of a better station to listen to.
Got a lot of great folks this same.
I mean-
Local folks.
It's amazing what all you have on this station. I mean, really.
We're about to add more. You know me, I can't be. I want to add more all the time.
I mean, from sports to
Oh, that
politics
AP.
to AP Stedham. I mean, he's incredible. Just
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
do something with Wishbone Boys again.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. I enjoy every single interview we have. This is my life. This is what I love to do, and I love to dig in and people who want the wonderful things. I like to bring that out because a lot of things you just don't know because I can't get you to say anything about yourself, so I had to do it for you. And Catherine and I, you know, we you know, like that about you. So, but anyway, those guys were awesome. And,
were.
and to know that really that formation basically changed Alabama.
Yeah.
The
I mean, it
Roadside
changed
Series.
football, yeah.
Were you
Yeah.
surprised Saban resigned?
yeah, I was. I really was a little bit. I mean,
AP and I laughed about this.
I mean, I thought that would be the way he'd do it. I mean, it's not going to be,
It's not
you know,
what you're
6
taught.
months from now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's going to be.
1999, right?
I mean, he said, you know, 5 minutes before that, he didn't know if he was going to resign or not. I mean, he went into the meeting not knowing if he was going to resign or not. I mean, that didn't surprise. That part didn't
No, it
surprise
didn't
me.
surprise me at all. But this is so funny. Every time every football season, AP has been our sports guy for the past six or 7 years, and always been on the show forever. And so every year, some of you guys would send messages. Is this going to be that this is the year Saban's going to resign?
Yeah.
And AP and I would laugh, you know, because he's not going to resign. And then funny, it was something. He looked tired or something, and so I even brought it up, and I said, "Do you think he's going to retire this year?" And AP started laughing at you. He said, "Will you stop that with that rumor?" He said, "You get that rumor out every year." And I said, "No, our listeners get that rumor out because I always think he's going to retire." And then when it happened, you better believe I found out before AP did. I sent him a text. I was like, so he thought I was joking around. He said he did not resign, and I said, "Go to your sources. He
Yep.
just resigned." But I think a new coach is going to be good.
Yeah, I do too. And I was going to say, you know, Miss Terry may have something to do with that too. You know, speaking of
The
wives,
wife,
yeah.
she was done with him.
Yeah. Catherine and I went to University of Montevallo Saturday to the basketball game. I've got a cousin that plays for them, and that played at Gunnersville High School, and his coach from Gunnersville was there to see him play. The week before, as a freshman, he scored 50 points
Oh,
in
wow.
a game, and he's
Right.
gotten Gulf South Conference Freshman Player of the Week 3 times this year already.
Wow.
In the game where he scored 50, he was 12 out of 12 free throws. Saturday, I mean, I thought he had a bad game. Then I looked at the stats, and he had 29 points, but it was 9 of 9 free throws. So I mean, he's made 21 free throws in a row in a game, at least. I don't know about the game before, but and I worked for Hibbett Sports for 34 years. I've seen thousands of basketball games, but in that game where he scored 50, he scored 25 of his team's points in a row without
Wow.
anybody else on the team scoring. I've never seen that happen. And but anyway, we went to that, and at halftime, Catherine said, well, who you gonna talk to? So I went down and talked to the Gunnersville coach, and I didn't even know him. I had to go and introduce myself to him, and I just said, told him my name, told him I was from Geraldine. He said, oh, he said, I go out of my way to go by that barbecue place to get chicken fingers in Geraldine. I said, James Barbecue. And he said, yeah. He said, man, they got the best chicken fingers in the world. And we've got some good restaurants here. And
before we go, let's talk about the Father's House.
yeah, okay.
That is an awesome, awesome place. And they have so many testimonials that are just beyond great.
Yeah. It's a addiction recovery for women.
Mm-hmm.
They've got 13 rooms there. So right now they've got 26 women. They're going through a 12-month recovery, and Katina Blanchett, the administrator of that, she's just fantastic. She's a recovering addict herself, been clean 10 years.
She's been there, so she knows the pitfalls.
Yeah, yeah, and their statistics are just amazing. I mean, they've been here 5 years. They're the ones that have graduated. 85% are still clean, which is an unbelievable number. 131 kids have got their mama back. But when they leave there, they have a job, they have a place to live, they have a vehicle. And many of them work in town, at Jack's and screen printing and grocery store. And I mean, they're all just people that, like the rest of us, have made mistakes of some kind and trying to make their life better. And Katina's going to be in Montgomery tomorrow, speaking at a program down there on recovery, a statewide thing. And her mom works there, and so Katina and her mom and one of the other ladies from there is going to kind of give her brief testimony and talk about things. But I mean, they're just such a great addition to our town, just because they're examples of people, that, I made a mistake, but I'm going to do better.
That's the best thing to do as fast as
And I mean,
like I did about that speed.
that's a lesson for all of us. I mean,
Really, you're better off to do that.
I mean, I've always been so thankful that I didn't grow up around that. I mean, I wasn't exposed to it, and because I don't do anything in moderation very well. I've said, I really have a heart for them, because I tried to give up drinking Sunkist. It's just out of the question. Yeah, I know. I got peach tea, but but wow, they're just, and she's wanting to start the same thing for a men's program. Just such a great servant. One of the best things I've done as mayor is hire her. She's our town clerk and court clerk, and she's got a lot of experience in court, one side or the other. But she is such a godly person.
And somebody else is beautiful Kim Hagan.
Yeah.
And I went to school with Kim, and she came in from California the same year I came in from Anniston. So we were just like instant friends, because we were both new here to the town. And so she does a wonderful thing down there in Opelika as well. They got that big thrift store.
Yeah.
I think it's the world's largest thrift store or something like that.
It's an old
she keeps
Walmart.
saying you got to get down there,
Yeah.
and I keep saying I'm
been to it.
I'm going to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I went
I
down
love
there
thrift
a
stores.
few years ago, because they have a men's and a women's recovery program there. Her husband Rick does that, and 2 or 3 years ago, I thought, I've got 8 or 9 suits hanging in the closet, and I wear one about twice a year. So I gathered those up and some more clothes and took them down there and donated them, and then went in the thrift store and bought some other stuff. But I mean,
I just need to go down there and let's just do some shows, Kim. Let's do that. I said, we'll have a blast. It'll be like old times again.
Yeah.
Less than a minute left in this segment. What would you like to tell us before we go?
I just, love to have you visit Geraldine. We've got state parks, and we've got fishing and hiking and just all kind of things right here in DeKalb County and in our area, and joining Marshall County, Gunnersville Lake, and
Will they have tournaments every year?
Yeah, we're starting to talk about some things to do in 2026 for the 250th anniversary.
Oh, that'd be great.
And so, got High Falls and Bucks Pocket just right here in 10 minutes from right downtown. You can call it that. But great schools. It's just a great place to be. And love to have you contact us, ask questions, or, come by and visit. You can find me most of the time around. If you come by, somebody will know where I am.
Absolutely. I got him on speed dial right here. If you need him, just let me know. Thank you, Mayor, for being on the show.
Thanks. I'll always enjoy it, and I appreciate what you do.
And thank you for watching, because I know you could be doing anything else. So you're watching me ramble, but you're listening to good stuff from him. But thank you so much for being with us. And make sure you tell Catherine hello for me.
I sure will. Thanks.
You take care. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.